This is the National University of Samoa. It's a relatively new institution, not going for many decades, and designed to train local school leavers in the arts, the humanities and the sciences ready for employment and to remain here in Samoa. And it faces challenges, significant challenges, as do many educational institutions across the Pacific. Many students look for grants so they can go overseas, first to the University of the South Pacific perhaps, and then beyond to New Zealand or Australia. And when they gain their qualifications, they often leave, don't come back. And so that valuable intellectual capital, for want of a much better word, is lost to the island nations. So institutions such as this have been established to try and offset that trend, to try and keep the clever young people, the resourceful young people here in the Pacific. But of course they face enormous challenges financially and in terms of recruitment, in terms of staff recruitment, and in terms of retention, and of course in terms of resources as well. One of the great problems here is lack of access, for example, to books. And you'd think in the internet age that could be superseded, but it's often not. Most of the texts here that are used are photocopies of books that are donated from elsewhere. I looked at the geography collection in the library, and there were no more than 100 books in total, and most of those were from decades past. The university can't afford access to the online journals which are controlled by the big publishing groups, and so the asymmetry of the global economy based on unequal access to knowledge is perpetuated. It's very quiet at the moment because it's actually in between semesters. Let me take you up here to the central part of the university. This is where the geography department is. Right here. This lovely mural here depicting the diverse environment of Samoa. And over here is the centre court of the National University, which used to have a great big fale, Samoan building, open plan building, a fale, but termites got to it and it had to be demolished. They moved and reconstructed it elsewhere. And here, folks, is the library. And as you can see, proudly sponsored by yours truly, Victoria University of Wellington. But there's a long way to go, and the collection is hardly extensive and certainly not sufficient. That, folks, is the library. So here we see, before our very eyes, an attempt to offset the global knowledge inequality that we see, that is defeated really by unequal access to resources. What do you think? Should we do something about it? I think so. Georambles 2018, Samoa.